In the winter of January last year, Air India was warming up to the idea of a new owner and to a big change in its work culture. For the airline, it was a homecoming of sorts as it was rolling back into the hangar of mighty Tata Group, which once floated it before losing it to the government. And for the government, it was a big achievement as it was getting rid of the cash-guzzling airline. And then the moment arrived. January 27, 2022 may well be the big turning point in the airline's history. It was the day when Tata Sons chairman N. Chandrasekaran met Prime Minister Narendra Modi and formalities to hand over the control of the airline were completed. Old members of the board gave way to the new ones. The sale was sealed for 18,000 crore rupees. The government had settled the 61,000 crore rupees of loan before selling the airline. A year on, Air India is flying high. On January 27th, it listed plans for the second year, while its CEO Campbell Wilson said that taken together, the progress over the last 12 months has been nothing short of stunning. But last year was not easy. When Tatas took over the airline, it was fraught with several problems. Mismanagement, poor passenger services, and bureaucratic grips were choking Air India. Competitions from efficient, low-cost airlines like Indigo and increasing fuel price were also making the situation worse. But Tatas seemed to have overcome the hurdles. After 1 year under the new management, things have started to look positive. Highlighting the achievements, Air India CEO Wilson said that the number of operating aircraft in the past year has increased by 27% and is at 100 now. Wilson also said that the number of daily flights has increased by 30% and weekly international services have risen 63%. Air India has narrowed down operating losses from 7,000 crore rupees in FY22 to 2,450 in this calendar year. In December 2022, Air India had a standalone passenger revenue of 3,100 crore rupees, which is the highest ever Air India recorded. Air India has achieved the increased revenue mostly by making the existing resources more efficient. Better management has helped Air India to increase the yield from international flights, and it was able to hire talents from rival airlines last year. The multiple steps that have been taken to bring down the cost also played a major role in the recovery. Performance-linked incentives for travel agents and introduction of new software for revenue management gave the 3,100 crores record standalone passenger revenue. Air India's market share in the domestic market was 8.7% last year. Combined market share of Air Asia India and Vistara, which was under Tata Group and Air India, is just about 26%, while Indigo Airline has a massive share of 56%. In a booming domestic market which saw a 47% increase in passengers in 2022, Air India is aiming to secure 30% of market share. In the international market, 80% of the flights to and from India are by international airlines like Emirates, Qatar Airways, and Singapore Airlines. Air India's market share in international fleets is just 12% at the moment. By merging Vistara Airlines with Air India and Air Asia India with Air India Express, Tata Group is looking forward to increasing their market share. Currently, Air India and Vistara are the only long-haul carriers from India. Also, it was reported that Air India is likely to order 500 new aircrafts, which include both the narrow and wide bodies aircrafts. But what are the challenges ahead?
Adding in fleet and modernizing a fleet is one thing, but resolving the way the government organization, working system, and machinery that is Air India, those systems, processes, and ways of working have to be changed and migrated, and therefore it's extremely important for the new management, including the CEO, to take those steps and resolve it.
As a capital-intensive industry, modernizing the fleets and using the existing aircrafts to maximum efficiency are crucial for Air India.
Aviation industry is a very capital-intensive industry. We call it as a, everyone keeps calling it capital-intensive, but in reality, what it means is that you need to continuously invest capital, and a large part of that capital actually goes in fleet modernization. That's extremely important. And with Tata's coming in, I think it was very clear that they would have that kind of capital that would be required for Air India. So if you see Air India's turnaround, it's actually not surprising. I mean, it was bound to happen the minute it was privatized. Why? It has got some of the premium slots at the international airports, which are a high yielding sector. They, if you look at their cost structure, their cost structure was basically marked down significantly because of the number of aircraft which were not operating.
But is there any other challenge?
Turning around is not the challenge when you look at Air India. Sustaining that turnaround is the challenge. So when you were so bad, if you're at zero and you suddenly achieve one, well, that's anyways a great 100% improvement. But that consistently being able to achieve that growth, that is where the test of the management of Air India will come in.
Despite the big turnaround, the airline needs to address the legacy thought process across the company. The alleged late response to the recent urination incident highlighted this. So speedy migration from the work culture of the previous organization and sustaining the momentum will be the challenges for the airline.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.